What's going on, y'all? It's JSmo Reviews here, back at it again with another video. And as promised, I said on Twitter the other day, this is the Bill Collector top 5 performances. You know, Bill's been absolutely incredible lately. This year, especially in terms of like main press, winning the King of the Dot tournament was humongous. And now his return back to URL, which is starting off with Rum Nitty. I'm assuming other top tier competition is going to be on the slate for him. And overall, he's someone whose whole career has done a 180. I believe when Bill was like a comedy entertainment based rapper, very unique. There was no question about it. But some people questioned, you know, is it more the gimmicky, the funniness, or is he competitive on a battle to battle basis? And I think that it was up in the air for a while. And then when you get to around 2017, 2018 more specifically though, the back-to-back, Devil Bar Bill, the back-to-back style, you really start seeing building. And I think in 2022, it's the peak where it's very Daylight-esque, that pure rapping, even B-Dot, where the wordplay plays into every line. There's just so many bars in between. And he's adding definitive haymakers to that, which he's had, but especially now, if you look at his work rate this year, his turning work, it's haymakers all over the place, entertainment, elite cadence, which he's always had, being a Philly, that's something they almost always have coming out of Philly. So many great things to say about Bill, and I just wanted to take this time to break down what I think are the 5 best performances of his career up to this point. We're going to start out, as we usually do, with some honorable mentions, a couple battles that are prominent and just deserve a mention, or a couple that I really think, just missed the list or could have replaced one of these performances. So without further ado, let's get right into the honorable mentions. So we're going to jump right into the honorable mentions. And for the first honorable mention, I got 3 of them. We have Bill Collector versus M City. Now, this is a one-rounder. Actually, Bill's first PG introduction to URL. He had done some work on Block City. You know how all those battle rappers came back up then. Nobody's first battle was really on URL. Climbed a couple, and then his PG was versus M City. And this is the origin of I got the burner. I got the burner. So obviously it had to make it in some capacity. Really, not only a lot of people's introduction to Bill, but really just an introduction, this whole comedic side, this unorthodox way of performing. I believe that even though comedy was definitely a part of battle rap back then, Bill's like over animation is really something that you could see in the in the soil of battle rap that other battlers picked up later on. So a lot of people, even A Ward himself, has said Bill was a big inspiration. A lot of them, even though Bill wasn't one of the biggest million view guys back then and kind of looked over, I believe over time has done good by Bill Collector on the way we review it. So that battle being the start, thought I'd mention that, as well as his next battle that came after that versus John Didon. And this is another classic in terms of the 2 different sides of Bill I see. There's the mainly comedy-based animated Bill, which he never really got rid of that, but then there's the Devil Bar. There's where the writing, I think, the writing met up with the performance, and that's where that elite battle rapper that we see today comes from, and over the last few years. And this is that in terms of animation versus John, it's one of the best. Some of it doesn't age so well, really, on both sides. John's third in this battle is horrible. I have Bill Collector winning. Bill's first is extremely entertaining, and overall, I think a good win from him, one of his better performances, and really encapsulates all that uniqueness and performativeness that comes with Bill Collector. And then that leads into the last honorable mention, a battle that, I really wanted to swap on. I debated, but for some of the ones that I'll explain, obviously, when we get to the top 5, this one just missed it right on the outside, and that's Bill Collector versus T-Top. I think one of Bill's more prominent, like really more undisputed wins versus Top Comp. Obviously, T-Top is very good, but Bill Collector was the first to get T-Top post-Summer Impact Reloaded situation. For those of you that know, you know what I'm talking about. And Bill was able to mention so much in the second. Where was this bitch T-Top at? Somewhere doing the bare minimum. Oh, God. His first round, which is all trap talk, which just goes to show as the years went on, Bill became way better with his real talk, way better with his bar for bar, speaking introspectively on his legacy, so many things. And I think this is one of those battles, and one of his better URL showings for sure, that show that Bill can really compete with the best of the best. I had him taking the first 2 pretty clear versus T-Top, especially the second. I mean, the second is round of the battle by a landslide. And although I had Top getting the third, it was a really good T-Top. And I still feel like, as well as many other people, that Bill took that battle. And just one of those good, hearty wins at the end of your career. I want to see, how did you compete as top comp with the rest of the top comp? And I feel like especially battles like John and T-Top in the modern year that it happened really display that for Bill. So those are my three that I thought should be mentioned for historical effect or just flat out great bill collector performances. And now we can get into the top 5 bill collector performances of all time. So for the first battle that we're going to mention here on the top 5 bill collector performances, at number 5, we have Bill Collector versus Clean Paper. Now, a lot of you guys love this classic. We mentioned M City and John Johns. This would be the third battle on URL that he had. And this is from that original PG class that everybody knows and loves. And what an incredible battle this is. Still ages really well, even though the parts of it get a little drawn out, but the parts that really aren't good from Bill this battle are the parts that weren't good then either, so not too much of a difference there. And this is definitely another peak, animated Bill battle. The first round, extremely close between the two of them. QP is also someone that his work as a showman and kind of that natural star quality is, one of the big things that people also give credit to QP for, similar to Bill in a way. Although I do think in the long run, Bill has definitely taken it and made more of a career out of it. But Clean at the time was definitely a force to be reckoned with. So even though Clean didn't age as the best comp, trust me, when this battle happened, it was definitely, a clash of two of the better new guys. Overall, pretty debatable battle. I'd say the first round is debatable. The first, Bill doing all of his rhyme pockets, the shirt, the movements, everything. Even throw some money at the end, which was ridiculous. Weatherman forecast. And QP is a pretty good first, makes the first pretty debatable. You could edge either. I'm not going to lie. I'd personally edge QP, but have no problem with someone edging Bill. And the second round is really the only thing that holds this from going higher. We'll talk about the third in a second. But in the second round of this battle, Bill, he gets booed. Goes a little bit too hard with the rhyming almost to a beat. Cadence, really, really takes it to the point. He says, I wrote this to the same beat I wrote to City on. It was a little bizarre and definitely a drawn-out round. QP was able to secure that second clear. So you could debate 1-1 with the debatable first, or 2-0 going to the third. But the third really is the showing in the battle, the round that we walk away with, and contains the bar we walk away with. Bill's third, the breastfeeding bar. Incredible haymaker, clearly took the third round, and just Bill at his best in that third in the white tee. The animated, but the bars in between, it was like a little preview of what we get years down the line in terms of what Bill could do pen-wise. But really an incredible battle, debatable, and there will be a few debatables in this list because I know that while clear wins can be fantastic and a lot of times important, I do take that in necessity. I feel like these original Bill performances, even if they're debatable, really need to be focused in on because this is Bill Collector. When you look at Bill versus QP, no matter what anyone says, that's one of the most synonymous with his brand and with his style. So love that, and that's why it comes in at number 5. And moving on right into number 4, we have Bill Collector versus A-Ward. Happened on Crack Liberty Battle Leagues, and this is an incredible, incredible battle. One of the least viewed here at 150,000 views, about 160,000, but man, bar for bar, this is Devil Bar Bill. This is when he actually started calling himself Devil Bar Bill in 2018, and him and Ward went to fucking war, man. All 3 rounds, the animated plus the bar for bar was meeting perfectly. Really, almost every round in this battle is debatable. I'd say the clearest might be the first to Bill Collector. I love Bill Collector's first, and has the bar of the battle from Bill to me with the Big Bang bar.
The Holy Ghost gave you the spirit, you should take flight. Airport lobby, I catch you sitting in plain sight. The shot got me feeling like God. I know that ain't right, but the gun's so big when it bangs, it creates life.
Dope, very performative, a lot of guns so big, but he makes it fire. But he also has the wordplay and in between stuff, even touches on an angle that versus A-Ward that no one had about his brother being a recovering drug addict. Ward fought back too. To me, this is low-key a classic. For those of you guys that haven't seen it, you definitely should. One of the better bar-for-bar Bill battles. I personally had Bill taking the first and the third round by an edge, but super debatable. One of the best back and forths he has, and that's why it's number 4 on the list. So, finishing up the next day, but we are into the top 3 of the Bill Collector performances here. And here at number 3, one of his more recent works and one of his more classic works overall, we have Bill Collector versus Mac Myron. Semifinals of the King of the Dot Season 1 tournament. Very important battle for Bill's career. Mac Myron, who is extremely great comp, especially when you talk off URL where the tournament came place. This is some of the best just out there, off the brand competition there is. Mac Myron, extremely respected puncher, and also like Bill, a showman, very funny, is able to get into that entertainment bag. And this battle was extremely great, extremely debatable as well. Bill obviously came away with the judge win, which is a big reason why this is up here. But those first, it really all comes down to the first. I believe Mac got the second very clear, and I think Bill got the third clear, especially given a bar for each of these. I want to talk about Bill Collector's third with the Dreamcatcher bar and all the rhyme pockets he put together.
Turn your white tee on my skiing sweater. I kill this bitch like Dean Fletcher, hanging over the bed like a dream catcher. I'm the air to hit
the Dreamcatcher one is the one I like, but overall what you're going to see from Bill from this battle is back-to-back the wordplay tying in, and I think that's all what Season 1 was about. Versus Stack Almighty, versus Mad Flex, versus Mac, versus Dunch, versus Pass, all these battles. Bill, the wordplay that Bill was doing is really at an all-time level for him. And this battle comes down to the first. Now, live, I did edge Bill Collector. Obviously, the judges did, which is why the Bill Collector won the battle. Rounds 1 and 3 is the best argument for it. But I will say, that first is so close, and on the rewatch for this video, I did end up edging Mac Myron in the battle, but people talk about robbery. I don't believe there's any type of robbery. I believe two very great MCs who respect each other had a classic battle, and when there's a classic battle, the winner could change while you watch it, but there is no debate that Bill's individual performance is amazing. It's more than deserving of making this top 3, and he has said that it's the hardest battle he had in the Season 1 tournament, which is one of the best accomplishments of his career. So for so many different reasons, strength of schedule, he was actually just that amazing in the battle, and what it meant, the judge win part of it, that is why that lands at number 3 on the list. And then that gets us into the runner-up for the number 1 spot, the next battle he took in the tournament. So the runner-up in Bill Collector's top 5 is Pass. This is a $100,000 battle. It's almost hard to say anything past that. Obviously, this is the battle that Bill won at the end of the Season 1 tournament for the 100K. And I actually had Bill Gentleman's 30 over Pass, which I know will make some people very upset. It's considered a Battle of the Year contender. And there's some people that actually thought, fairly big chunk that thought Pass won. I believe some of the polls had it like 70-30, so 30 is still a respectable amount for the amount of people that had him. And Pass rapped very well. We all know Pass is a pure rapping cadence type of guy, so he can go with Bill in terms of that. Bill with the elongated cadences and rhyme schemes, but the separation here is Bill was much more direct with his wordplay and his actual attacks on Pass, and that was the difference for me in the battle. I believe the closest round is the third round of the battle with Pass with the damn Bill, you still there? But I had Bill pretty clearly taking the first 2. And just between the rhyme pockets, he had the Senate. We'll take him to the legislator. But for me, the password 3 times, and then he locks up.
Fall back before I slide to this mouse pad with hot stuff. The right click here for help, but on facial recognition, you not tough. Glock's dumb. Once shots enter passwords wrong 3 times, he locks up.
That is the bar that really just defines what he did here, dropping pure haymakers, not just witty wordplay back-to-back, pure haymakers on Pass, and then to win 100K, plus Pass being a legend, one of the best over there on the West Coast. So many reasons why this battle's great, and that's why it's the runner-up for the best performance of Bill Collector's career. So, now that we've gotten through, we are down to the number 1, what I believe is the best Bill Collector performance. And I'm sure if you're a very big fan of Bill Collector, you've kind of narrowed it down to what this might be. But at number 1, I do have Bill Collector versus Hitman Holla. Obviously, closure, main event, easily the most viewed battle in Bill Collector's career with 5 million, which I haven't mentioned views too much. And that's because I don't want to direct performances by the amount of views or, like basing on a number like that. I mean, there's YouTubers out here getting views for all types of different stuff. I don't feel like while getting millions of views is impressive, I don't feel like that should be the end-all be-all. Just because you do the most millions does not necessarily mean you are the best. But in a career like Bill Collector's, a 5 million view battle or nearing that is an insane achievement, an outlier from the rest. And part of that is from Hitman, but part of that is from Bill and the fact that this is a classic. When ARP posted it, it says classic battle. And there's so much storyline here. Obviously, we know about Show Out, you know, snuffing Bill and how that all went down, where that sent Bill, the knot, all those things. It's such a big part of Bill's story. And this is a full circle moment for him where I think a lot of people that hadn't taken Bill serious at the time immediately took Bill serious. And it's a great, great battle. And funny enough, while it is back-to-back bars with Bill in this battle, this is more about his storytelling, really pure rapping, and the way that he was able to break down the situation, everything that happened, the way that he viewed it from his perspective, feeling like he got done wrong by somebody that was mentoring him in the game. It's very almost an emotionally packed performance, and it's career defining in all ways. It goes to show you Bill Collector the person, as well as Bill Collector the rapper, really tapping into some real shit and making the people feel it. And Hitman was incredible in this battle, too. Probably in terms of back-to-back punching, one of the best Hitmans ever. And in a weird way, this comes down to a preference battle purely because you get somehow one of the best, most well-written Hitman performances ever. And on the flip side, where you think Bill might be the more sound bar-for-bar guy here, he gives you a more approach-based, emotional-based, story-based approach. And when you compare that, if somebody's got Bill winning those last 2 rounds because of the way that he, you know, went about using the angle and explaining the parallels of it, it would be hard to debate. And it's also hard to debate if someone has Hollow winning those first 2 because he was punching his lights out. And that's really what makes a classic battle classic. The style clash and multiple facets of battle rap being displayed at the highest level. Me personally, another one where I went back and forth. I had Bill for a very long time watching this battle. Recently, I have a lot of respect for what Hitman did. I'll have Bill running like Clinton in 93. You know what I'm saying? I thought he really was rapping. So toss up, you know, I might edge Hitman those first 2 rounds. But like I said, especially someone Bill gets the third and Bill's second is very charged. And my favorite bar of this battle, speaking of the storytelling, is how he broke down. We was doing it for promo.
Recognize my talent as your setback. Took my lack of knowledge, then you led me to a death trap. You knew I wasn't coming for beef. I came solo. Smack told me host with you. Create promo.
Very charged moment. You can feel how he feels about how that went down. And it's just one of the best, just one of the best performances, the best performance, in my opinion, of Bill Collector's career. You get to see him in a different light and to hang with Hitman Holla, one of, in my opinion, the 5 best battle rappers to ever live. And to have a classic debatable, one of the best battles in RB history, if not the best battle in RB history. So much praise for it, and that's why this comes at number 1. And that will do it for my top 5 Bill Collector performances. You guys let me know how you feel. What would you add to the list? What might you take off the list? I really love the list that I made here just because I feel like it really does exemplify the Devil Bar Bill with the back-to-back build-ups, the momentum rapper, as well as the animated Bill, the Bill that we know for the comedy. And especially as you get towards the top, you start to see both of those performances kind of blend together. And that's where you get, you know, the most elite versions of Bill. And it allows me, you know, this has allowed me to go down his whole file history, really look at it, whether it's looking at Verse Track or whether it's rewatching some of these old battles, just refreshing. And you can just see a clear adaptation of his style. I always praise DNA for that, but especially with Bill, you can see someone that as the game evolved, he evolves with it. And the battler he is now is extremely elite and so much different than the elite battler he was then. Although I would say that he's in the peak of his career right now, the prime. I think the champion of the year, especially a top 6 spot in 2018? I believe it was 2018, the top 6 spot, which was incredible. Could be off, could be 2020. But overall, this man has carved himself a Hall of Fame career. He made the BET Top 50 all-time list, which he most certainly deserved. And so many people will tell you the influence Bill has had in this game and the one-of-one battler he is. Can't wait to see what he does in this rerun of URL, where I believe he's going to get a lot more pure top-tier competition. And it could, you know, we'll see what it does for his legacy, but I believe he's going to take advantage of the moment, have some wins, have some classic debatables, and, you know, just further cement why Bill is one of the greatest to do this. But it's been a pleasure putting this video together. Like I said, comment down below your opinions on the list, what you change around, and just like, comment, and subscribe. God, love doing top 5 battler stuff like this. And you guys can also let me know in the comments, what battler would you like to see get a top 5 performances next, or a golden years to break down a prime of their career. But if there's any battler you guys would like to see me focus in on and do a video on, just let me know. I'd be, you know, I'd love to do it. But it's been J Smo Reviews again, y'all, and I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Peace.